Richie Rich Show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy, Trucker Richie Rich. And I'm back on these ones and twos of the trucking game. I thought I'd make a video here real quick to kind of express some things how I feel. I don't know, bros. Trucking is hard, man. It's getting hard. You know, it is. It's getting to a point where I'm almost for certain people at McDonald's are making more money. You know, trucking's about money, and when money gets tight, attitudes don't act right. And you know what sucks? I was thinking about this, right? Independent contractors and owner-operators really don't have anybody advocating for them. There isn't a group of people I can call, or anybody I can call, to express my frustration, and then something is actually happening. Some action is actually happening. Because this market here, and the way things have been for the last 2 years, you know, are really bad. I want to talk about the logistics side of Prime. That's what I work on right now. And it's getting bad. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not good. You know, I don't know what to do. You know, I mean, the only thing I know to do is just to keep working, but I don't know what to do. I mean, financially, this is not making any sense out here. I'm literally working, making company wages, being an owner-operator. Now, listen, I know it's not Prime's fault, and I'm not making this video to bash Prime or to make it seem like Prime is awful. This is not their fault. It's the market. But I wish we had somebody advocating for us to make sure we got paid properly to haul this stuff. Okay? Because right now, it's horrible. I mean, we're literally, I don't know if you guys realize this, if you ever thought about this. I know some of you truck drivers might have thought about this, and some of you guys are really oblivious to what we actually haul. But the actual loads that we haul average around $40,000 to almost $300,000 worth of product. So if you think you're hauling around $200,000 worth of product, and you're only getting paid not even a 0.5% fraction of that, that's wrong. I think it's wrong. You know, I understand that companies have costs and products have costs, and you know, they have a organization to run to keep their costs low, but a lot of this stuff is marked up 10,000%. I'll give you something real simple. And I just had a load of Gatorade. Everybody knows Gatorade in the store, right? Well, a case of Gatorade that I was carrying, each individual case is around $11. You know, $11 a case. And I was carrying about 4,000 of them. So that's around, I don't know, $45,000 worth of product. I feel like I should have been getting at least 6 or 7% of that revenue, of that product's value. And I don't understand why we're not getting that to haul. You know, truck driving would be a lot simpler and a lot easier. Let me tell you something that happened to me last week, and it's with the logistics side. I had a conversation with my fleet manager, right? A couple of personal conversations, and you know, I believe he's keeping it really honest with me. Like, I feel bad for him. You know, he told me when the market was doing really well, he was pulling in $6,000 or $7,000 a week. And now that the market's doing bad, he has to sell his house because he can no longer afford it. And he has to downsize. Okay? A couple of factors might have played into that. You know, high interest rate, high inflation in prices, but still, you know, he has to change his lifestyle, and we all do. I had to downsize, not my house, but just my lifestyle. And what I'm saying this is, when I asked them, what is the average revenue going to your trucks now? Because I know when I was on the lease side of Prime, I used to make, well, here, let me explain something. I used to bring home $5,000 to $6,000 a week gross. But in actuality, that was more like $7,500. See, Prime gives you a payout sheet, right? And if you look at the white sheet they give you on your pay settlement, you can see the actual price of the load, and then Prime takes the percentage out, and that's what you see when you get across your Qualcomm. So I figured if I came to the logistics side, I can make $7,000 a week without, losing that 28% that you guys give. I only lose 15%. And when I first came over, yeah, I was doing $7,600 worth of revenue, $6,000, and I understand it was a good market. I understand, but now that has come totally catapulted to less than $4,000 a week. Okay, I still have expenses out here to run a truck. I was reading an article on online. I think it was CDL Life or some IOTA sends me, because I'm part of them, and they're worthless. I ain't gonna lie, they do nothing. But the article said that the average truck out here needs to generate $2 a mile to be profitable in today's market. And you know what? That makes a whole lot of sense, because you got tolls, repairs, fuel costs, insurances, and then driver. Okay. And for some reason, these loads out here are not even averaging. Like, I'll give you an example. I had a load coming out of Virginia, coming down to Florida. And when I did the math for the mileage on it, it was like $1.80 a mile. Okay. That doesn't include the tolls it cost me to come down here to hop on the toll plaza. Do you understand? It doesn't include the fuel I have to put in my truck. By the time that's all factored in, you're looking at maybe 70 cents a mile, maybe less. And I'm trying to figure out, like, why are these corporations so greedy? Truck driving used to be a ticket to the upper middle class in America. It was one of those blue collar jobs that you worked at it, you were going to be upper middle class, But now it seems like you're almost like the working poor. Do you understand? There's guys out here losing their houses, losing their cars, losing everything because of corporate greed. Okay? This has nothing to do with the market. I should be able to take 2 loads a week and make great money. Do you know what I mean? I should be getting more of the percentage of the load's value. It seems like today's market, whoever hauls it cheapest gets it, despite if it's hurting people. And yes, we do have a decision not to haul it, and we do have a decision not to drive trucks. But what are we going to do? Okay. A lot of people, this is a second chance opportunity for them to make a living for their family. I saw something in New Jersey about a week ago that kind of concerned me. And I don't mean to be sounding racist or prejudiced or just any kind of ism that's out there. But I was in New Jersey, and I was in a truck stop, the petrol up there. And I witnessed these guys. They had to be, I think their truck was called Punjabi Express or something like that. And when I looked at them, I seen 4 grown men come out their truck. And it just, it made me think, is it those motherfuckers who are causing the problem? I don't know. Because I know DOT has a rule, right? You can have as many people in the truck as long as there's a seatbelt for them. And I don't know, I mean, for a while here, a lot of companies, CR England to be particular, was having 3 men in the truck while they had one trainer and 2 trainees. And that truck was running nonstop, you know. And because of situations like those guys, that can make them pull cheap freight. Okay. But for us owner operators out here, we can't compete with that. I'm not going to have 3 dudes in here, 4 dudes in here. You know, I didn't barely want 1 dude in here when I was training. Okay. But I just think, you know, when you read the newsletters and you see Swift Knight buying another company, you know, and you see all these mega carriers buying these companies, they're just buying them so they can haul their cheap freight. And nobody cares. Like, it doesn't make sense. I was in New Jersey heading up to New York to Buffalo one time, and I looked at the tolls to do that. I mean, them tolls were almost $400, and then they offered me a load that only paid $700. Okay, what sense would it make to take that? Do you know what I mean? And then pay the tolls, which you don't receive a discount for, and they don't even factor in the toll costs into the bill. Then fuel, well, you know, when I see fuel surcharges, right, that'd be like $100. Those prices are stuck in the 1940s or 50s or something, because when I go to the pump, it's usually no less than $300-400 to put fuel in my truck. Okay, $500 and something to fill it up. Luckily, I'm with Prime and they have an excellent fuel discount program, but still, it's bullshit. Okay, $1 something here, you know, $100 here for fuel, $200. You know, this whole trucking industry needs a revamp, my personal opinion, and we need some people to really advocate for us and not be full of shit. You know, a lot of these politicians get on TV and say we are for truck drivers, but they really are not. They're just shining you on. Because if they were for truck drivers, a lot of things in this industry would be different for people. I would be able to use the bathroom as shipper receiver. You know, I would get paid properly. You know, I would be able to run a small business and be profitable. Right now, with these numbers, I'm almost better off parking the truck and working for a company. Okay? And then that's the problem. When you do something like that, you're contributing to the cheaper freight, because most companies are picking up cheap freight. You know? It's like, damn if you do and damn if you don't, if you want to be successful out here in the United States. You know? It's almost hard to make an honest living and to make a lot of money and be successful honestly. You know, you're almost better off picking up a load, going to New York City, opening the back of it and say, who wants to buy it off the truck? And you probably can make more money. Not saying I would do that, but you know, these companies out here just are so greedy, and they just want people to work for nothing. I guess that's capitalism. And capitalism hurts when you're on the other side of the fence. You know, I wouldn't complain if I was the one benefiting from the capitalism, if I was the one benefiting from cheap labor. And that's basically what it is. This is almost equivalent to slavery. It is. It makes you not want to do this shit no more, to be honest with you. Just because the money is, where's the money? You know, I'm scared if the blower, I had got 2 steer tires about a month ago, and that ran me about $1,300. That's expensive. You know, I had my pigtail replaced, ran me another couple $100. You know, I got to get a PM done on my truck. That's going to run me at least $600. You know, the average cost to run a truck is $2 a mile at least in today's market. why are we getting these dollar and mile loads and these $1.50 and 80 cents? I mean, basically just no money. So this is my little rant. You know, I'm not talking bad about Prime. Prime is a good company, and it's not their fault. They're just a part of that system that they got to take cheap freight, or they would have no freight, and they would have to lay off a whole bunch of truckers and close divisions. And from what I hear, some managers did get laid off. You know, some people got fired. They fired the ones that they wanted to get rid of, and they laid off some, and they would have to do the restructure. But how long is this shit gonna last? I mean, we're still hauling product, and it's still getting bought. You know, how do you haul $100,000 worth of product and only get a fraction, not even a fraction of the cost? This is greed. And you can't do anything. You can't strike. I'm like a one-man army out here, you know, and there's about 1 million of us, owner operators. But who has our back? Those fuckers went to DC and drove up around the circle there, and nothing got done. You know, it was a waste of time. Waste of time. So is truck driving the ticket now? Just not. You know, this shit is starting to become not worth the headache. It just ain't. So anyway, that's my little rant, man. And I mean, I'm still pushing on, and I'm doing what I was always trained to do, which is persevere. But this shit is starting to become a fucking headache, man. It's like, where do you find the motivation to keep on working when you're not making any money? Okay, when your paychecks look like they did in high school. Okay, and you're a grown man with responsibilities, with family. I don't know. I could complain about it more, you know, or I can figure out another way to do it, I guess. But anyway, peace, love. Drop your comments below. You know, this is something that we all should really be thinking about, because now in the summertime is where we're supposed to make all the money we can. Okay? I'll hate to see how the wintertime's going to be. That's going to be brutal, because normally in the wintertime things slow down. Okay? But it's just brutal. Anyway, stay encouraged. Peace and love.
500. I only got $200.
I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell the story again, because motherfuckers really don't be feeling me when I say this shit. Now, I don't know if this was a joke video or not, but listen to me on this, right? I drove over the road for 1 year, little under 1 year, and listen to me when I tell you, it was the most not worth it shit in the fucking world. For context, before I went over the road, I was working for FedEx. I was delivering packages every day, between 50 and 100 fucking stops per day, making $600 to $700 a week. It was a bullshit job, but that was the only thing they had when I, lived in Columbia, South Carolina at the time. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go get the CDL, because got to get that big money. You can get that big bread. You get the CDL, you make that money. Bullshit. Now, mind you, you can only work 7 days a week, or however many days you can fit into a 70-hour work week before you got to take a 34-hour reset. Meaning you got to park the truck for 34 hours. Can't do shit. Wherever you at, that's where you got to stop for 34 hours. You maybe can work something out with your job. Maybe you can go a little further here if where you at ain't safe. But anyway, wherever the fuck you at, 34 hours. Check this shit out. This stop is a representation of pretty much all of the bullshit I went through at this fucking job. I took a load from the state of Maine to Minneapolis, Minnesota. For context, I took it from here to here. Look at all the fucking shit I had to go, because I couldn't go through Canada. I had to go through all of this shit here to get here. Do you want to know how much money those motherfuckers paid me for that fucking trip? Take a wild guess. I'll give you a couple seconds. Whatever the fuck you thought it was, it's fucking wrong. Those bastards paid me $300. And that trip took me 4 fucking days. The trucks they had only went up to 65 miles an hour. 70, it went up to 67 miles, but the 67 only lasted for 20 minutes, and you had to wait 24 hours for it to reset. They called it a pass smart or some dumb shit like that. That shit took me 4 days, ate up more than 50% of my work week, and they only paid me $330 for that fucking trip. My check for that week, because I could only do like 1 or 2 stops after that. My check for that week, I shit you not, was $650 or some shit. Fuck over the road truck driving. You hear me? Fuck that shit.